वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि संप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरुमे देव सर्वकारेषु सर्वदा. I invoke the blessings of Lord Shiva, the deity of beginnings and the remover of obstacles, the Vignaharta, to mark the beginning of our two-day event. Namaskar and a warm welcome to one and all who have joined us from different time zones. As it is a mark of our undying tradition to invoke the Almighty at the beginning of an important event, let us seek the choicest blessings by kindling the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. For this, I would request IT team to kindly play video of our customary lamp lighting ceremony. Thank you, IT team. Welcome to this vital and timely gathering. We come together under the overreaching theme development of individual, society, and global economy, a theme that carries even greater urgency in today's turbulent world. In an era marked by rapid technological advancement, shifting political landscapes, and evolving cultural norms, it is clear sorry, it is clear that development can no longer be viewed through a narrow lens. The well-being and empowerment of individuals form the very foundation of healthy societies. In turn, thriving societies fuel innovation, stability, and inclusive growth, which are critical for a resilient global economy. This conference is a call to reflect, to connect, and to act. Our conversations will explore how we can strengthen the human spirit amid adversity, how societies can rebuild trust and cohesion, and how the global economy can serve as a vehicle not just for wealth but for peace and equitable progress. Let us use this platform not only to exchange ideas, but to renew our shared commitment to a world where development uplifts rather than divides and where humanity is placed at the heart of all progress. Thank you, and let the dialogue begin. Now, without a further ado, let me take this opportunity to introduce to you all Secretary General of the Organizing Committee, Professor Ajay Kumar Singh. Professor Ajay Kumar Singh is a distinguished academic, administrator, and thought leader in commerce and management education. Currently serving as a senior professor at the Department of Commerce, Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi. He has previously held key leadership positions, including head and dean of the Faculty of Commerce and Business and vice chancellor of Sri Sri University, Odisha. Professor Singh also serves in prominent national roles such as chairperson of the Delhi University Sports Council and Adhyaksh of the Delhi Prant Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal. His contributions span across academia, professional bodies, NGO, and global forums, making him a multifaceted scholar, mentor, and institution builder. A very warm welcome to you, sir. I would request you to kindly extend a warm welcoming note to our amazing audience and also elucidate the theme of the seminar.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shipra Singh, for the elaborate introduction. My esteemed panel speakers and chief guest of the inaugural session, Dr. Rishi Mohan Bhatnagar ji, the co-founder and MD of AA2IT, and many other hats that he wears. He would be introduced separately. The other distinguished guest which we have today, the guest of honor, Dr. Rajesh Khajuria ji, Ambassador Accreditation Agency, Curaco, AAC, ex-commissioner of ACBSP USA, and Professor Emeritus of FPT University, Vietnam, Professor Anil Kumar Singh, Director General, Professor Ravinder Raina, the keynote speaker of today's inaugural session, who is a professor at DUT Business School, Durban University of Technology, Durban, Republic of South Africa, the Honorable Director of DSPSR, Professor Mahesh Sharma ji, other distinguished friends, colleagues, experts, chairperson, co-chairpersons, keynote speakers, the paper presenters, students, ladies and gentlemen, guests, people from the media, I once again welcome to all of you to this inaugural session for the 27th annual international seminar, which itself is a testimony to our commitment regarding quality education and excellence in the field of education. As Prant Adhyaksh of Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal, it is the responsibility that we bring the wisdom of the ancient past, what we call Bharatiya Gyan Sampada, Bharatiya Gyan Parampara, Indian knowledge system, Indian knowledge tradition, and there are many words for that. The gist is that we don't lose the capital which was built over thousands of years of our existence, and we should cherish that, we should follow that, we should apply that on the one hand, and on the other hand, we also enjoy the beauty of new age technologies. That is why we have the chief guest from the new age technology field. Although he's a blend of both, he deals with the wisdom of the past as well as he deals with the technology aspect of it. And we have other colleagues and friends who would be dealing with this aspect of it. The main theme of this year's seminar is development of individual, society, and global economy. Are you able to see my screen? Please let me know if you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So,
You can, yeah.
is that okay now? Better?
Yes, sir. Now it is better. We can see an introduction now.
Yeah. Development is a multi-dimensional process encompassing personal, societal and economic transformation. भारत को सोने की चिड़िया कहा जाता था और स्पिरिचुअल कैपिटल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड भी कहा जाता था। दोनों चीजें एक साथ कोएग्जिस्ट करती थी। एक जो इंडिविजुअल फिनोमेना है, पर्सनल लेवल पे स्पिरिचुअलिटी डील्स largely at the personal level, but it gives you ideas like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which is for the global level. Individual development shapes human capital, societal development influences norms, equity, and cohesion. Global economic development determines material progress, innovation, and interconnected prosperity. So these three dimensions are interconnected and mutually reinforcing to each other. So that is why we kept the theme of these three dimensions that we took. So far as development of an individual is concerned, it refers to the holistic development of a person in various aspects. Some of them are listed here, like physical, emotional, intellectual, social, spiritual. These are some of the dimensions. When we say physical, it means health, fitness, nutrition, etc. But spiritual aspect is also something which is, we call it spiritual health, spiritual well-being. So emotional is about self-awareness, emotional regulation. Intellectual is about education, problem-solving skills, creativity. With corporate people look more like Dr. Rishi Mohan Bhatnagar ji. They look for people who have creativity and problem-solving skills, etc. Social is about communication, relationship, collaboration, and spiritual is about values, purpose, ethics. A developed individual becomes a productive, responsible, and compassionate member of the society. So, as education institutions, it is our responsibility to ensure, or as Bharatiya Section Mandal, or as Indian Commerce Association, it is our responsibility to ensure that all these things are at the right place. So, what are the factors promoting individual holistic development? Access to quality education and healthcare, family, culture, and community environment, opportunities for self expression, innovation, and entrepreneurship. This is about, पंचकोश. अगर पंचकोश का विकास नहीं होगा तो इंडिविजुअल का विकास नहीं हो सकता. अन्नमय कोश, प्राणमय कोश, मनोमय कोश, विज्ञानमय कोश, आनंदमय कोश. These are the five koshas. And you all are aware that the physical body is the annamaya kosh, which is nourished by food. The pranamaya kosh is the vital energy, breath, or the life force sheet. In Sanskrit, the word is prana. The Manomaya Kosh is the mind, emotions, the inner world. So this layer includes thought forms, mental activity, and awareness thoughts. And getting in touch with this kosha involves looking at one of the perceptions of mental platforms. Vijnanamaya Kosh is the kosha, which literally means a shell that is composed of Vijnana or intellect. It is the fourth covering of Atma. A large part of this kosh is in the realm of the unconscious and is a major repository of information. A feeling of me and mine and the faculty of intelligence and reasoning constitute the Vijnanamaya kosh. Fourth layer sheet, the feeling of freshness that I had a deep sleep is said to arise from this kosha. When one closes the eyes and relaxes during meditation, the functioning of the Manomaya kosh becomes minimum. The Vijnanamaya Kosh comes in the front and gets active. In the final stages of meditation, the intellect becomes stable and mind becomes still, and this is called Samadhi. Anandamaya Kosh is referred to as the bliss body. It is the deepest and subtlest of all layers. So much so that some people even say they can't use words to describe it. Instead, it must be felt and experienced. Developing Anandamaya Kosh requires the discipline to complete inner work and spiritual practices over a long period. This level of consciousness relates to the essence of one's true self or nature, which is perfection. Transcending all five sheets can lead to the state of samadhi or unity between individual and universal consciousness. This is said to be pure bliss or joy, the yoga, the union. And for that, you need to have 8 limbs of yoga, which means yamas, niyamas, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. Yamas are virtues or universal morality, and niyamas are personal observances. So, yamas include ahimsa, which is non-violence, satya, truthfulness, asteya, which is non-stealing, brahmacharya means abstinence, and apriyagraha means non-accumulation. And niyamas means personal observances, which means focus more generally on our relationship with our physical and psychological selves. Like shaucha is internal and external cleanliness, santosha is being happy and content, tapas is penance, swadhyaya is self-study. Ishwar Pranidhan means surrender to the higher powers. So yamas and niyamas are the two important things which are part of the 8 limbs of yoga. And then what we generally consider yoga means as asanas, which is the third limb of yoga. Asana is a posture that one can hold for a period of time, staying relaxed, steady, comfortable, and motionless. Sthiram Sukham Asanam is the 46th Yoga Sutra. Means सुख से बैठने वाला जो पोस्चर है वो ही और उसमें आप स्थिर हो जाएं. So you should be steady and comfortable in any asana that you are doing. So pranayam is the control of the breath. Pratyahar is drawing within one's awareness. Dharana means concentration, introspection, focus, and one-pointedness of mind. Dhyan is contemplating, reflecting on whatever dharana has focused on. If in the sixth limb of yoga, one focused on a personal deity, dhyan is its contemplation. If concentration was on one object, dhyan is non-judgmental, non-presumptuous observation of that object. If the focus was on a concept or idea, dhyan is the contemplating that concept or idea in all its aspects, forms, and consequences. Dhyan is uninterrupted train of thought, current of cognition, flow of awareness. You would be happy to know that World Meditation Day, on the request of Sri Ravi Shankar ji, has been accepted by the United Nations, and for the first time in 2024, it was organized and celebrated at the global level, World Meditation Day, which is like dhyana. And yoga as a whole, on 21st of June, we celebrate, just few days ago, we celebrated when our Honorable Prime Minister requested or made a proposal to the United Nations, and it was accepted by one and all present there. And since then, we have been celebrating from 2015 onwards each year, and it is increasing year by year. So these are, dimensions which the world has accepted. 21st June is considered to be the longest day, and 21st of December is considered to be the smallest day. The night is the longest. And both these days have been, taken by Bharat to tell the world that this is something which is very important if we want to live a happy life, peaceful life, joyful life, blissful life. And for that, the eighth limb is samadhi, is oneness with the subject of meditation. There is no distinction during the eighth limb of yoga between the actor of meditation, the act of meditation, and the subject of meditation. Samadhi is that spiritual state when one's mind is so absorbed in whatever it is contemplating on that the mind loses the sense of its own identity. The thinker, the thought process, and the thought fuse with the subject of thought. There is only oneness, that is samadhi. In Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal, we have started 6 a.m. some sadhana time in the online mode currently to enable people to follow this path of yoga. This is spiritually smart goals. Today, the time is not that much. And these are some examples. The ripple effect is skilled, ethical, individual influences, families, workplaces, and communities. So, this is the impact of Ratan Tata, we all know, and development of society, social capital, and trust. Role of institutions are there. And there is World Happiness Index also, which is by the Western world largely. So that is from their side that they make. And we have to actually create such kind of tools by which we can actually tell the world what actually happiness means and what is the role of education and socialization, society and economy. Global economy in the 21st century, if we see, the features are interdependence, globalization, digitalization, emerging economies, and demographic dividend for a country like India is very, very important. The importance of inclusive and sustainable economic growth is to be followed. Otherwise, we will not be able to continue to live in the way we actually want to live. So there are micro and macro linkages, and there is role of entrepreneurship and innovation, and India or Bharat is focusing a lot on these dimensions: workforce participation, productivity, and ethical consumption. So sustainable development goals, Niti Aayog is tracking for India that we should follow this and make sure that we contribute. So there are a lot of case studies also in this. Today the time is less. So the way forward is holistic development of individuals through lifelong learning, empowerment of communities and civil society engagement, ethical capitalism and people-centric policy should be made. So I thank you for, and once again, welcome each one of you for patiently listening to me. It was a pleasure and privilege for me to welcome each one of you and to share my thoughts, particularly from the individual aspect more, because there are other speakers who would be dealing with the other dimensions of it more. And since Dr. Rishi Mohan Bhatnagar ji has to leave, we will be rescheduling the inaugural session a bit. So I once again welcome and thank each one of you. Namaste.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening enlightening our audience insights, your work, the purpose, and now releasing Delhi Business Review, a biannual blind peer reviewed, refereed research based international journal of Society for Human Transformation and Research. It is listed in Cable's directory and many other databases like ProQuest, EBSCO, Google Scholar, Indian Commerce Association, etc. Over the years, Delhi Business Review has continued its effort to publish research based work, increasing its value to the readers. Now I request Dr. Sugandh Rawal and Ms. Sumedha Trivedi and other team members to help release DBR Volume 26, Number 1. So here on the screen, you can see the cover page of Delhi Business Review, Volume 26, Number 1, 2025. So we have been releasing this journal from the very start, the year we started with our institution. As a member of the editorial board, I extend my sincere thanks to all the contributors, as we could not have done this without their valued support. I think we can show the author details. The team would like to say something, would like to share any views. So here is a list of about the contributors, those who have contributed to this volume. Thank you so much. The journal is also available on its website, Delhi Business, www.delhibusinessreview.org. Moving it, we are delighted to welcome the chief guest of the day, Dr. Rishi Mohan Bhatnagar, a seasoned business leader with over 25 years of industry experience in the technology and digital transformation space. He is the co-founder and MD of AA2IT and chairman of the RCI CEO group of companies, with a proven track record in steering innovation, stakeholder governance, and digital solutions. Dr. Bhatnagar previously served as president of Aries India, leading strategic ventures in IoT, and held leadership roles at Tech Mahindra.
मुझे आवाज नहीं आ रही है,
including ET CEO.
कुछ कनेक्टिविटी का इशू लग रहा है जो है. There was some, lagging in your voice, and that. Okay, it's all right. I think maybe you can repeat the last few sentences, Dr. Shipra, if you can hear.
Yes, sir. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. A thought leader in future technologies, he co-authored Enterprise, IoT, and founded the IET Future Tech Panel in India. His visionary work has earned him accolades, including ET CEO of the Year, IoT 2022, and ET Now's Business Leader of the Year 2019. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Rishi Mohan Bhatnagar, a pioneer at the intersection of innovation, technology, and leadership. Thank you very much, sir, for giving us time and being with us for this inaugural session. Over to you.
Thank you very much for inviting me. And special thanks to Ajay sir, who is my elder brother. And thank you for inviting me for the 27th Annual International Seminar. It shows the consistency and the commitment in working towards these goals and having this. So I'm sorry, but there's so many things that have come that I have to leave in between, and I requested uh, for rescheduling and putting me in top. So when we think about the topic of individual, society, and then the global economy, and me being a business leader, I personally feel that I have so many examples on the ethics. But one thing which I want to say that there is something in between the individual and society, and that is the family. And when we think about the Indian culture and the Indian society, I personally feel the Western world has taken individual as a unit. But in our kind of culture, the unit has to be the family instead of the individual. Because in a family, uh, in our society, unlike the Western world, we think in terms of family. I came back from Europe where I was living because I want to return back and stay with my parents. We have, as individuals, when we think about our parents, we think about our children, we think about our spouse, we think about our immediate family members, and then we take decisions. Many of us sitting in this call, all the people must have taken certain decisions in their life which could have might have impacted their professional career or economic goals because of their families. And that is the basic unit where we have to start thinking about. So if somebody says that I want to go abroad and live there, that decision has to be the family decision, not that individual. That's the difference. Which I think the spiritual and uh, the economic power which we were earlier and which we have to become were having in the earlier times when we were the golden uh, Sone ki Chidiya, all the kind of GDP growth which we had 58%. The way things used to be that research organization like Nalanda and Takshilas used to buy and innovate research on gems and jewelry, spices, textile, and metallurgy. But construction, the manufacturing used to happen at home at a family level. Female of the family used to run the business. The children used to learn, and the elder parents used to guide. And the men of the family used to go and trade. That's how the family system used to work, and everybody had their own resources. That's how the Indian society has been, and that's how the society works, used to work. And when we're starting about the individual, that has started impacting the basic family culture and the society. And as Ajay mentioned about kind of the yoga, Gyan, Marg, in which there is 8 levels, and Samadhi is the final one. We have always been a spiritual country, but I am trying to work on seeing how can I get better in spirituality and getting more inclination toward the God using technology. And that's how, I'm also working on seeing different things in a very different ways. Um, some kind of ways of gamification or virtual reality shows or kind of robotics to make sure that people adhere to the values and principles and learn about the Indian culture and get those ethics. Myself and Ajay has come across number of the stories from Mane Shankaranandji, who's our Akhil Bharatiya Sangathan Mantri of Bharatiya Action Mandal, where we think about the ethical business or ethical economy. So, once we were hearing a story about a small girl coming to a shop, an Indian shop, asking for 10 रुपए में मुझे पूजा के लिए सामान चाहिए. फ्रंट एंड बॉय 10 रुपए में कुछ नहीं आता, आप जाइए. मगर मालिक जो था वो आया, उसे 10 रुपए में सारा सामान दिया और कहा ले जा पूजा की. This is the ethics which the Indian business person has. And Ajay also showed about the Ratan Tata. and even the Jamshed Tata, they have shown such a level of ethics in business. And we have certain stories and case studies about how they have been able to create ethical ways of business and creating an environment. How all of these things came, how an individual who is being a global leader in economy, how an individual who is running a shop in India can create such kind of ethics and create a better environment is through that family values and the culture thing which has come. So I personally feel that if home brings the ethics and the culture and the society brings that, and if we are working from an individual to society and going to the global economy, the things have to change in ways where we are able to create the spiritual and the ethical values. And that is something which is part of the education. Many times, our education now has become a way of getting a job, and we ourselves are aligning. इसको करने से job मिले. We have to move out of that thought, and we have to say how education can give us knowledge, and knowledge can generate a way of earning, or skills can create ways of earning. How can we distinguish between education and getting skills? And that's how creating those bringing those differences, that we come to the schools not to just see how can we get a job of an engineer or a doctor or a MBA or an MC or a chartered accountant, but we are coming here to get knowledge and getting skills to become a expert in a particular topic. That's a separate matter. And how can we get skills? And that is a level which we have to start thinking about. And as a result, global economy will start having impact. India as a country has always thought about Vishwa Kutumbakam, and we are Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. That's the kind of words we have thinking. But that means that we have to move out of individual thoughts or a regional thoughts or a religion thought, and we have to become a global citizen and start thinking in those terms. The moment our education system moves and create global citizens, we will be able to get an economy which is thinking about the global economy. And how can we move out of the capitalistic thought, but having at least some level of ethics and values in our business system is what I believe things should change. We have, as India, from a Vishwaguru position to a position where we were 28% of global GDP, and you all are more from the commerce. Many of you are from the commerce background. You must be knowing that when the British came and they took over, even at that time, we were a large economy globally. But when British left, they cleaned uh, cleaned in a way that we were at a very low uh, partner, and everything moved towards the European area. Now we are moving again. But if we think in another term, we are the 18% of global population. At least have 18% of global GDP. And when we start thinking in those lines, the target of becoming third largest economy will be changed to becoming 18% of the global GDP, irrespective of whether we are third or fourth or second or first. But we are the population having 18% of the global population. I think the target has to be that we should at least be 18% of the global GDP. Okay. There was time when we were only 10% of the global population and we were 28% of global GDP. From that time, we have moved to 14% of global population and only 2% of global GDP. Now we are moving towards 18% and 3.5 to 4% of global GDP. But the target should be, in my view, and that has to happen when people will start thinking in a very different manner. And I usually give an example, and that's the kind of example I want to give it here, because the individual has to start thinking, and the society has to start thinking for the global economy and India to become a global economic power in addition to the spiritual power and the value. Both has to combine. We have been, as Ajay said, the spiritual country. We are always a spiritual country and an economic global power. We have to achieve that. But when we start thinking in terms of the global economy, India at a level of only 4% of the global GDP, with 18% of the population. Because I come from the technology and the IT part, the total IT spend globally is 5 trillion US dollar. 5 trillion. But India as a country, where we are the largest system integrator of the world, we are contributing to only $170 billion of export in IT. In a pie of 5 trillion, what we are getting for a mathematical purpose, I'm saying 200 billion, the reality is 170. Okay? So if we are only 200 billion out of 5 trillion pie, and we are the largest system integrator of the world. The question that all the economists need to answer is where that 4.8 trillion goes. The 4.8 trillion goes to the United States of America and many of the European countries. How? For every laptop you buy, you give 10,000 rupees to Microsoft for the Windows. For every mobile we buy, if it's an Android, we give license fee for Android to Google. For every Apple, we give license fee for Macintosh or iOS or iPhone to Apple. As a result, all the basic platforms comes from the United States. As a result, we give license fee to them. The Indian, when I think about how will we become 18%, we will become 18% when we start making such level of platforms which can be utilized by global level, and we earn from that license. Okay. I keep on thinking about these things, and sometimes I try to make a comparison between the United States entrepreneurs and the Indian entrepreneurs. Okay. When I say that Microsoft had developed Windows, most of the developers of Windows were Indians. But they didn't develop Microsoft for India, but they developed Microsoft for United States. So are the other platforms. So when we start thinking in these lines, we'll start thinking that how will we make ourselves 18% by contributing and developing such kind of platforms like UPI. We have created UPI and we have created COVID. All of these kind of platforms will become a platform for global money transactions, for global healthcare, so on and so forth. As a result, we will be able to get that pie in our uh, uh, in our GDP, and we'll be able to achieve 18%. So, in my view, the society, the individual, has to start thinking in terms of that we are the 18% of the global population. We must think about having 18% of the global GDP, and we have to start thinking about the base platform on which we will work and we'll be able to create. How the academia and the industry can combine, how the individuals can start thinking in those lines and having an ethical way and thinking about the Vishwa Kutumbakam and not trying to just say, how can we have COVID and how can we get vaccines and how can we earn more money from vaccines? But as India created vaccine, developed in only 6 months, send it to the whole world, we're absolutely free and created that Vishwa Kutumbakam and Vishwa Guru kind of position for us. There were ethics, there were technology, there were economy, but we gave the ethics and values much bigger role than just getting the money. Coming back to the platform, most of the IITs have already developed large technology methods, and we need to see how can we collaborate and see how can we get those level of uh, platform which can generate us large revenues globally. And the whole of the developing world is looking for India to get into those kind of levels and create a global economic impact so that people
I think he has lost the connection. That is the technology uh, constraints that we have. Please allow him to join and make him co-host quickly. Well, the moment he joins, if he is logged out, just keep an eye on that. And the host, please ensure, because it seems that he has logged out. I hope the host is listening about what I'm saying. Please keep an eye.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hmm. He has joined back.
I'm back again. I'm really sorry there's some network issue. So I was cut out of the network. So, coming back. उन्होंने कहा टाइम हो रहा है भाई आप उठो नेटवर्क ही बंद हो गया तो has to be family and not an individual. Okay. At a global economic level, you have to start thinking about creating large platforms on which we are able to work. Because even today, while we are largest SI of the world, we are still contributing to only 3.5% of the total pie of what is available. And that's not only the state of IT or electronics, but it's the state of the all kind of industries which can think of. So we have to start making some impact at all levels and try to make, uh, India, which is 18% of global population, to 18% of the global GDP. That should be the kind of target we should focus. And when the individuals start believing in it, I'm sure it's an achievable target. Thank you very much for inviting me. Um, I'm sorry that I have to leave because I have another very pressing and
No, it's all right.
thing to
It's all
attend.
right.
Yeah,
You could make it. That is great. And it's very
thank you.
inspiring and very insightful from the technology perspective, particularly and ethical aspects and all those things. Thank you very much, Dr. Rishi.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
We extend our sincere thanks to our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Rishi Mohan Bhatnagar, for your gracious presence and inspiring address at today's event. Your reflections on the theme development of individual society and global economy have brought valuable perspective and depth to our discussions. Your insights not only enlightened us, but also reminded us of the shared responsibility we carry in shaping a more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable world. Thank you very much, sir, once again. Moving ahead, now I would like to take this opportunity to welcome our guests of our honor. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure and deep respect that we welcome Dr. Rajesh Khajuria to this distinguished platform. Dr. Khajuria is a global thought leader in business education, strategic management, and accreditation. With over a decade of exemplary service at ACBSP Global Business Programs, he has played a transformative role in shaping the quality and direction of global education systems. He has served as a board member and accreditation expert with ACBSP USA and AACEU, while also holding key academic leadership positions as dean, director, and professor in the areas of strategy, ethics, sustainability, finance, and management. His professional work spans consultancy, independent corporate directorships, and advising institutions and entrepreneurs on techno-economic viability and governance. Guided by a clear mission, improving quality of education and business for quality of life, Dr.
Again, it seems we have lost the connection.
it's okay if I am audible to.
Yeah, you
Yes.
are. You are perfectly audible. I think you can start.
Wonderful. So I have the permission, Mukta ji, from Dr. Ajay Kumar Singh and you. So, well, um, first of all, thanks to Dr. Mukta for advising me not to make a presentation, saying that, sir, you are great anyway, so it's okay. I really appreciate that part. Just a few minutes before over email. And of course, my sincere thanks to my friends. Thank you, madam. And thanks to Dr. Ajay Kumar Singh, and Professor BP Singh, and all the guests, Professor Anil Kumar, Ravindra Rena, all of you that I see, and Dr. Shipra, many of you. So I thought that there cannot be a better theme in any seminar in the world than today's. And why? Because only an awakened mind can create a positive difference in the world. तो आप लोग जानते हैं कि 3 तरह का या 4 तरह के लोग होते हैं। एक को तो आप कह सकते हैं कि ये भान में है, मतलब ये जानते हैं क्या हो रहा है, देख रहे हैं। एक है बेभान है, अनकॉन्शियस है, उन बेचारों को कुछ पता नहीं है क्या हो रहा है, शायद हॉस्पिटल बेड में हो, शायद घर के बेड में हो, आप उनको काउंट नहीं कर सकते फॉर एनी कंट्रीब्यूशन, जो बेभान है। फिर एक और लोग हैं, कुछ लोग हैं जो सभान है, इनको बहुत सारा मालूम है कि क्या हो रहा है, शायद क्या होने वाला है, क्या हुआ है, और हर तरह से ये कॉन्शियस है। तो हम आज बात करेंगे वो सभान लोगों की, अवेकन्ड पीपल जो जाग गए हैं। तो आप समझिए कि 10% जो है वो सो गए हैं, 80% है वो भान में है, लेकिन अपनी रट में है, बस बिजी है, दैट्स ऑल। आप किसी को भी पूछ लो क्या कर रहे हो, अरे सर बहुत बिजी हूं, अरे मैडम बहुत बिजी, बिजी है। वो 80% है, वो भान में तो है, बस अवेकन नहीं है। और 10% शायद ऐसे लोग हैं जो यहां मौजूद है आज इस सेमिनार में, जो अवेकन्ड सोसाइटी के बारे में सोच रहे हैं, बोल रहे हैं, जानने की कोशिश करते हैं। तो ये अवेकन्ड सोसाइटी या अवेकन्ड पीपल क्या है, उनके ऊपर एक भगवत गीता में चैप्टर 2 जो है सांख्य योग या तो योगा ऑफ नॉलेज, उसमें 68 नंबर का एक श्लोक मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगा, हो सकता है आपको भी अच्छा लगे। तो भगवान कृष्ण क्या कहते हैं अर्जुन को, आगे उसके बारे में बहुत है, अवेकन्ड पर्सन के बारे में, अवेकन्ड सोल के बारे में, लेकिन वो लास्ट में, वो अवेकनिंग पे लास्ट वाला श्लोक जो है ना 68 68वां, वो बहुत जबरदस्त है। कहते हैं कि तस्म यस्य महाबाहो, जो आगे कहा वो सब, निष्पृहितानि सर्वज्ञ, निष्पृहितानि सर्वज्ञ, जो निष्पृह है वही सर्वज्ञ हो सकता है। इंद्रियाणि इंद्रिया अभ्यर्थे, इंद्रियाणि इंद्रिया अभ्यर्थे तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता। तो जो जिनका काबू अपने इंद्रियों पे है, मतलब यहां वो इंद्र और इंद्रियाणी जो स्वर्ग में मजे ले रहे हैं उसकी बात हम नहीं कर रहे हैं। हम बात कर रहे हैं कि आपकी इंद्रियां, जिसके ऊपर आपका अगर संपूर्ण काबू हो, तो आपकी प्रज्ञा, आपकी बुद्धि, आपका ज्ञान वो वेल एस्टैब्लिश्ड हो जाता है, मतलब कि आप अवेकन्ड हो जाते हैं। तो अवेकनिंग का, अवेकन्ड होने का एक 2 लाइन में इससे बड़ा श्लोक मुझे दिखा नहीं भगवत गीता में। हालांकि बहुत सारे श्लोक हैं। मैं, हो सकता है कि मैं आपके लिए, सबके लिए इसको मैंने चैट बॉक्स में टाइप भी कर दिया और उसका इंग्लिश में मीनिंग भी लिख दिया है, तो उसको आप पढ़ सकते हो। और मीनिंग शॉर्ट में है। मीनिंग का एक एग्जाम्पल देता हूं। ये अंग्रेज लोग क्या सिखाते हैं, ऐसी स्टोरी सिखाते हैं जैसे रेबिट एंड हेयर, ठीक है, कछुआ और ससला, सस्सा, उसकी स्टोरी सिखाते हैं कि कौन स्पीड में आगे जाता है, कौन सो जाता है, कौन जल्दी पहुंचता है। बाद में उसकी वर्जन्स आने लगी, ने उसको उठा लिया और हर तरह की चीजें। लेकिन अगर ये हम हमारे ज्ञान को देखें, हमारे देश के ज्ञान को, तो कछुआ जो है उससे बड़ा कोई न पवित्र प्राणी है, न कोई ऐसा प्राणी है जिससे आपको अवेकनिंग के बारे में सीखने को मिले। इससे बड़ा कोई प्राणी नहीं है। कछुआ जब चल रहा है तो वो बहुत ही स्लो चलता है, मतलब सोच समझ के चलता है। ऐसे नहीं कि बंदर की तरह भागता रहता है, उछल कूद भी नहीं करता। मतलब वो सुपरफिशियल नहीं है, वो बहुत ही अपने आप में एस्टैब्लिश्ड है। दूसरा, वो किसी को हानि नहीं पहुंचाता। जैसे बंदर बहुत कुछ खाना है, नहीं खाना है, लेकिन नुकसान तो जरूर करेगा, ये हानि नहीं पहुंचाएगा। तीसरा, जब कछुए को लगता है कि वो डेंजर में है तो अपने लिम्स जो है, हाथ पैर मुंह, वो अंदर कर लेता है ताकि न उसको नुकसान हो और न उसको लड़ाई करने की जरूरत पड़े। तो आप समझिए कि जब वर्ल्ड में इतने सारे वॉर्स चल रहे हैं, सो मेनी वॉर्स आर गोइंग ऑन। एक तो ट्रेड वॉर, यू नो हु स्टार्टेड, मिस्टर ट्रम्प फ्रॉम यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स, एंड देर इज नाउ ए वर्ल्ड कॉल्ड ट्रम्पियन टेरिफ। ये एक हिस्ट्री बनने वाला है, आगे जाके इसको पढ़ाया जाएगा। ट्रम्पियन टेरिफ क्या है? मतलब मन में जो जी आए वो टेरिफ आप जिसके मन पे डालना हो, जो कंट्री पे, और डाल दो और बाद में उसको नेगोशिएट करो। ट्रम्पियन टेरिफ। तो आप देख रहे हैं कि उसमें क्या क्या हो रहा है। और बहुत सारे वॉर पार्टली टेरिफ पे और पार्टली रिसोर्सेज के लिए हो रहे हैं। चाहे अभी ईरान का हो और इजराइल का हो, चाहे धर्म के नाम पे चल रहे हो, लेकिन देखा जाए तो ये स्वार्थ के लिए हो रहा है। ये पूरे रिसोर्सेज एक दूसरे को ले लेना है, इसके लिए ये वॉर। और ऐसा ही इराक में हुआ था, ऐसा ही और जगह हुआ था, कुछ मिला नहीं, लेकिन फिर भी वॉर तो हुए। ऐसा ही यूक्रेन में हुआ। और फिर वो संधि होती है, और संधि में यही कहा जाता है कि आपके प्रेशियस मेटल्स जो है वो हमको दे दो और हम आपको बख्श देंगे। तो व्हेन द वर्ल्ड इज डूइंग लाइक दिस, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री क्या कर रहे हैं, नरेंद्र भाई मोदी, और उनका मंत्रिमंडल क्या कर रहा है? सिर्फ पाकिस्तान के ओनली टेररिस्ट लोकेशन पे हमला करके, उनकी सफाई करके मारा नहीं है, सफाई किया। क्योंकि जब जंग हो जाता है तो सफाई करनी पड़ती है। सफाई किया, सफाई करके पूरी दुनिया में पार्टी वाले हो या ओपोजिशन हो, उनका टीम बना के भेज दिया। और वो टीम जो है वो ये सफाई के बारे में बात करेंगे। आप सोचिए 4 साल के बाद जब अगला इलेक्शन होगा तो कौन सी पार्टी ओपोजिशन में होगी? आप सोच सकते हैं, शायद कोई बचेगा ही नहीं। तो लड़ाई तो की ही नहीं हमने, और हमने मना कर दिया कि हम लड़ाई नहीं करने वाले हैं। टेररिज्म के सामने ये हमारी लड़ाई नहीं है, हमारे सफाई है। तो ये एक कछुए की स्लो एंड स्टेडी, ये एक कछुए की चाल है, अपने आप को बचाना और स्लो एंड स्टेडी आगे बढ़ना। जब पूरा जंगल में खून खराबा मचा, तो ये कह सकते हैं कि नरेंद्र भाई जो है, इनको ये श्लोक लागू होता है कि अपने इंद्रियों को संपूर्ण काबू में रखते हैं, वैसे ही वो सेलिब्रेट रहते हैं, तो वो भी एक अनदर मैटर है। बट एनीवे, ये मेरा एक पहला पॉइंट है कि अवेकन्ड सोसाइटी, जो भारत एक जमाने में बहुत थी, तब तो हम रिच एंड फेमस थे। आज फेमस है, रिच नहीं है। फिर एक टाइम आएगा हम फेमस और रिच दोनों बनेंगे, तो वो हमारी इस तरह की क्वालिटी से बढ़ेंगे कि हम लड़ाई नहीं करेंगे, अपना रास्ता ढूंढेंगे, अपने को प्रोटेक्ट करेंगे और अवेयर रहेंगे। तो जब पूरा अगले दो स्पीकर के ब्रिलियंट स्पीच चल रही थी, मैंने आंखें बंद करके रखा था। कुछ लोगों ने सोचा होगा ये अवेकन्ड माइंड लग रहा है, ऐसा नहीं था। कल मेरा लेफ्ट आई में कैटरेक्ट का सर्जरी था, तो मुझे बोला था आपको ज्यादा देखना नहीं। सो दैट्स द रीजन। बट एनीवे, दैट रियली हेल्प मी। ये 24 घंटा में मैंने जब आंखें बंद की, तो मुझे लगता है मेरा अवेकनिंग बढ़ गया। तो जो अजय कुमार जी कर रहे हैं सुबह 6 बजे 4 बजे उठकर, वो सबको करना चाहिए। मैं भी कोशिश करता हूं, आप भी करिए। अब हम आते हैं एजुकेशन के सेक्टर में। एजुकेशन में अगर अवेकनिंग की जरूरत है तो कहां कहां है, जिससे वी कैन स्टॉप सेंडिंग आवर चिल्ड्रन अब्रॉड and sending billions of dollars abroad in their fees. And rather, on the other hand, we invite children from the world to study in India and then earn a reasonable foreign exchange. I would never say we should loot students like the way the Western world is looting. Now, they say they have a high cost. But I have, and I am working with professors in the United States and Europe and other parts of the world. And I see no difference between an Indian professor, a Vietnamese professor, a Mongolian professor, a South African one like Ravindra ji, and in any other Western professor. I don't see difference. बिकॉज सबके पास अपने अपने सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाने का नॉलेज है, और उससे थोड़ा सा ज्यादा नॉलेज भी है, कुछ और भी पढ़ा सकते हैं। तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। At ACBSP, we have 1100 member campuses from 60 countries. And as a board member, I have evaluated probably a quarter of those members in their renewal, in their new applications, in their all, in the board. I means our board. In 6 years, more than a quarter, probably half of them. And I realized कोई difference नहीं है। difference कहाँ है? difference स्टैंडर्ड्स बनाने में और उसको फॉलो करने में। तो हमारे यहाँ क्या होता है, स्टैंडर्ड्स तो बढ़िया बनते हैं, जैसे नेक के हैं या एनबीए के हैं। अब उसको फॉलो करने में बहुत बड़ा एथिकल चैलेंज चल रहा है, जो पेपर में भी आ रहा है। तो हमारा कुछ मीटिंग यूजीसी से हुआ था रिसेंटली, और 2 साल पहले हमारा पीएसए से भी हुआ था, प्रिंसिपल साइंटिफिक एडवाइजर टू प्राइम मिनिस्टर, पीएमओ में। तो हमने एक प्रेजेंटेशन दिया था कैसे होना चाहिए एक्रेडिटेशन काउंसिल भारत का, जिसके अंदर मार्क्स नहीं होना चाहिए, जिसके लिए टीचर जो है वो बच्चों को पनिश कर दे। मार्क्स में तो क्या है कि हमारा भी अनुभव था, हम भी इंस्टीट्यूशन चलाते थे। हम जो सेल्फ असेसमेंट में मार्क्स रखते थे, उसमें वो 49% करके वो कमिटी वाले रख देंगे। तो आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते, वो कमिटी वाले, आप अपील में जाइए, पैसा भरिए, वो वहीं बैठे, वो आपको सुन लेंगे, फिर कुछ नहीं होगा। तो हमने एक ऑल्टरनेटिव एक्रेडिटेशन का 1.5 साल पहले प्रेजेंटेशन दिया था पीएसए को, है हमारे पास आज भी। फिर रिसेंटली हमारा कुछ मीटिंग, कुछ काम से गया था मैं यूजीसी में, तो परसों फोन आया कि सर आपका नंबर सेक्रेटरी साहब मांगते हैं, हम दे क्या? तो हमने कहा दे दीजिए भाई, हमारा नंबर ओपन है। तो कुछ बातें बोले, यही एक्रेडिटेशन की कुछ बातें करना है। फिर कहते हैं एआईसीटी वालों ने मांगा है, हम दे दे क्या? दे दीजिए। अनिल सहस्त्रबुद्धे जी तो हमारे पुराने मित्र हैं। तो अब मुझे लगता है कि जो इतने सालों से 10 सालों से ग्लोबल एक्रीडिटेशन में मेहनत कर रहे हैं, उसका कहीं ना कहीं रिजल्ट अपने देश में आने की संभावना है। और हो सकता है कि हमारी एक्रेडिटेशन सिस्टम जो है वो अनबायस्ड या मच लेस बायस्ड हो जाए और ग्लोबली अलाइंड हो जाए, जो अलाइंड नहीं है ग्लोबली। 70% तो वो डीवीआर वाला असेसमेंट है और 30% वो कमिटी वाला असेसमेंट है, और डीवीआर तो कंप्यूटर करता है, उसको आंखें नहीं है क्योंकि कोई और आंखें उसको चलाती है। तो अगर ह्यूमन प्रोफेसर्स चलाने लगे ड्रोन फ्रॉम डिफरेंट फील्ड्स, और कोई परमानेंट लोग ना चलाए इसको, लेकिन जो सिस्टम ग्लोबली है कि प्रोफेसर्स हु आर इलेक्टेड टू द बोर्ड वो चलाते हैं, स्टाफ हेल्प करता है, स्टाफ चलाता नहीं है। एसीबीएसपी में डिसाइड करने वाले सब इंस्टीट्यूशंस के प्रोफेसर है, वो भी इलेक्ट होके आते हैं और उनका भी 3 ही साल का अवधि होता है। फिर 1 मोर टर्म इज पॉसिबल, नॉट मोर देन 6 years। तो 24 में लास्ट ईयर मेरे 2 टर्म हो गए। आई एम आउट ऑफ बोर्ड नाउ, बट आई स्टिल कंटिन्यू एज अ मेंटोर। कुछ ऐसी चीज हो, ऐसी हम प्रभु को प्रार्थना करते हैं। हमारा टाइम खत्म हो रहा है, और अगर भारत का एजुकेशन को ग्लोबल स्केल में लाना है तो हमारा अवेकनिंग ऑफ द प्रोफेसर्स लाइक प्रोफेसर अजय कुमार एंड ऑल ऑफ यू, और भारतीय शिक्षण मंडल में आपको चाहिए तो हमारी हम सेवा आप ले सकते हैं। हम तो 5 साल से किसी से कुछ क्लेम ही नहीं किया, जो भी सेवाएं हम फ्री में कर रहे हैं। तो आप सेवा ले सकते हैं शिक्षण मंडल में भारतीय में। कुछ हमारे दोस्त भी है वहाँ, कुछ थे और कुछ ऑलरेडी है आपके जैसे। तो हम ये कोशिश करते हैं कि ब्यूरोक्रेट को कैसे समझाए। हम कुछ भी सोच लें प्रोफेसर, उससे कुछ नहीं होता है। आपको ब्यूरोक्रेट को समझाना पड़ेगा, आपको पॉलिटिशियंस को समझाना पड़ेगा। अब पॉलिटिशियन का भी कई कई बार चलता है, नहीं चलता है। ब्यूरोक्रेट से बड़ा देश को चलाने वाला कोई नहीं है। तो हम जो है वो ब्यूरोक्रेट के साथ उनको समझाने की कोशिश करते हैं। ठीक है, फिर पॉलिटिशियंस तो समझते ही है, वो तो पब्लिक के लिए ही है, अच्छा ही करना चाहते हैं। तो इस पे हम काम करते हैं, और मैं आपको गारंटी देता हूं अजय कुमार जी, भारत का हायर एजुकेशन सिस्टम हम अगले 5 साल में गिवन एन अपॉर्चुनिटी ग्लोबली अलाइंड कर देंगे। कोई ये नहीं कह पाएगा कि ये एजुकेशन सिस्टम ठीक नहीं है, हालांकि हमारा उससे बढ़िया है। लेकिन परसेप्शन क्या है? परसेप्शन ये है कि हमारा सिस्टम रट वाला है। हाँ, पार्टली है, उसमें गलत नहीं है। वो कहते हैं इसमें क्रिएटिविटी, इनोवेशन, जो टॉप 5 क्वालिटी वर्ल्ड बैंक, आईएमएफ, ईएमएफ जो भी है इकोनॉमिक, वो लोग पब्लिश करते रहते हैं रिपोर्ट। वो लोग जो टॉप 5 क्वालिटी कहते हैं, वो बोले इसमें इंडिया में कम है। पार्टली यस, क्योंकि हमारी सिस्टम उसको है सही, मेजर नहीं करते हम। तो वो हम काम करेंगे आपके साथ, और ब्यूरोक्रेट्स को हम कन्विंस करेंगे, और उनको जो नेटवर्क चाहिए ग्लोबली। और एसीबीएस भी तो एक काउंसिल है, हमने ऐसी 100 काउंसिल का अभ्यास किया है। कहीं से भी रिसोर्स हम ला सकते हैं, जैसे इंजीनियरिंग का एबेट है, और AACS भी है, और यूरोप की काउंसिल्स अलग है, एथिया है, एएसी है जिसका मैं ग्लोबल एम्बेसडर हूं, कई है, कई है। सिर्फ यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में 85 एक्रेडिटेशन काउंसिल है, इतना डाइवर्सिटी है। हमारे यहाँ 2 ही मिलेंगे और बाकी कुछ स्पेशलाइज मिलेंगे, इससे काम नहीं चलने वाला। इतना बड़ा कंट्री में देयर शुड बी डाइवर्सिटी इन एक्रेडिटेशन काउंसिल, एंड देयर शुड बी बोथ गवर्नमेंट एंड गवर्नमेंट अप्रूव्ड। हमारे यहाँ सिर्फ गवर्नमेंट है। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है कि भाई सरकार को, सरकारी लोगों को गैर सरकारी लोगों पे विश्वास कैसे करना, वो कैसे सिखाए। हालांकि वो भी पहले गैर सरकारी थे, फिर सरकार में गए, आईएएस कर लिया, फिर सरकार में चले गए। अब वो सोचते हैं जिसने नहीं किया उसको कैसे विश्वास करें। तो हम कुछ हमारे सीनियर आईएएस फ्रेंड मित्र है, उनको भी लगाएंगे, गांधीयन लोग हैं, उनको कुछ नहीं है, कुछ गवाने का नहीं है, रिटायर हो चुके हैं। हम रिटायर आईएएस ऑफिसर्स को लगा देंगे, कि भैया ये प्रेजेंटली काम करते हैं, लग जाओ इनके पीछे, इनको समझाओ कि भैया विश्वास तो करना पड़ता है अपने देश के लोगों पे। तो ऐसे करके हम ये करेंगे। थैंक यू वेरी मच। आज अवेकनिंग अगर मैंने कुछ कर दिया बाकी लोगों को, तो समझिए कि मैं खुद भी हो गया हूं। थैंक यू सो मच एवरीवन, शिप्रा जी एंड ऑल ऑफ यू।
Thank you so much, sir. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest of honor for your and thought-provoking address. Your
सही
words,
बोला आप, सही तो कह रहे हैं कि ऐसे ही कह रहे हैं?
नहीं नहीं, एकदम सही कह रहे हैं।
अपने दिल से कहते हैं ना।
यस यस, एकदम
हाँ,
दिल से।
चलो ठीक है, मिल गया सर्टिफिकेट।
Your words focus the spirit of awakening of the self, of society, and of our shared global conscience have deeply resonated with all of us. You reminded us that true development begins with awareness and that transformation is only possible when we first awaken to our responsibilities, values, and potential. Thank you once again for enriching this event with your presence and for igniting minds with your vision. Moving ahead, thank you, sir. Moving ahead, it is our privilege to welcome Professor Anil Kumar Singh, a senior academician and administrator with over 40 years of teaching.
आपकी आवाज आनी बंद हो गई डॉक्टर शिप्रा।
हेलो, am I audible?
हाँ, आपकी तो आ रही है। ये जब इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं तो बीच बीच में आवाज चली जाती है इनकी जो
Chipra ma'am,
आप
you are not audible.
Today I've taken basically in this the global problem we are facing nowadays, and uh, global problem faced by the world, and how I think we are. It is 2025, and we are facing a lot of things. Uh, First of all, if you look at the world, there's a tariff war which is going on. Then the Russian-Ukraine war which is going on. There was a Indo-Pakistan clash that took place. Then there was a Israel-Hamas, Hezbollah conflict that took place. And latest is the Iran-Israel war. Uh, World is going through a turmoil, and turmoil is very big in the sense that we are facing a situation in calendar. Exactly the same date is there in 1941, in which the Second World War was going on, and in 1941 there was an attack by uh, uh, launched basically on by Germany on Soviet Union, and thereafter Japan. They were fighting in Asia. They attacked U.S. So that was the turning point when they attacked the Pearl Harbor. And the battle across Europe, Asia, and Africa that took place in 1941, and the same dates are there in 1925, and you will find that uh, basically what was the aftermath of 1941? 1941 is important. That decolonization of Asia and later on Africa took place. Creation of United Nations, that happened. and there was a Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. 60 million people died in the war, and 20 million died in the Second World War, soldiers, and there was a creation of Israel after the Second World War. And you can find that uh, am I so the global economy? I'm not going to the so these things have created a lot of problems, especially not only in India but also in the world. And if you look at the today's global scenario, you'll find that India is performing much better than many of the world economy or the all the large economy taken together. Our performance is one of the best. So this is another situation in which we are going through, and global economy. If we go through, we will find that the BRICS countries and they are doing well in comparison to the rest of the world. Even China is growing at 3%. No other country in the developed world is growing at 3%. So, uh, what about the global growth is going? It is going to be 2.3% in 2025, and it will mark a slowest global growth since 2008. Aside from outright, we are not heading towards outright global recession, but slowdown is very much there, and it is a year of trade restrictions, escalates, and another thing is that downsides includes uh, basically it is because of the uh, slower growth rate in the major economy, then worsening conflicts and extreme weather events. Extreme weather events means climate change that is going to take place. So that is happening. You'll find that a lot of war. That is one thing. Then floods, not only in India, throughout the world. We are finding such kind of situation. So uh, uh, this has created a unique situation in the whole world uh, because there's a Donald Trump had said one thing that there should be at least 5% in investment from the all the European nations on defense, and naturally the 5% in whatever the 5% of GDP if you spend on defense, the most of the money will go to US for purchase of arms and not to will fight. So there is another problem because the Ukraine issue. All of the European nations they are not growing at all. And if you go back in 1941, you will find that the decline of Europe started from that day onward because the control over the uh, mainly Britishers and the French on Asia and Africa, that was over because that war taught many lessons to Britishers that if they continue to hold all these nations, another war will take place. We are again in the midst of such kind of situation. So the economy has taken a very big hit in all those nations in Europe, roughly about 40 nations. Economy is affected because of the trade war created by Donald Trump, and that has created a situation in which the world is not growing. We are into a conflict with the whole world is in conflict, either in the war or the trade war. So, resulting in that there is going to be a slowdown in the economy, and that will result in a very naturally uh, loss of there will be more unemployment, uh, and that will create a poor situation. This I am talking from data of World Bank. Whatever I said just now, the World Bank has released all this information that this is going to happen in the near future. So the global economy is facing a problem, and it may continue in 26 and 27 onward further economic downfall. Uh, so this is a situation in which at least India is having a good growth of 6%, more than 6.5% is the projected growth by RBI and also by the World Bank. So the world on the one hand is not growing, India on the other hand is growing at a faster rate. So in a way, this is, if you look at the war in 1941, it has certain silver lining also. They have created World Bank, they have created IMF, they have created many institutions, and these institutions work for the development of the whole, especially European economy, which was destroyed during the war. So uh, all these steps were taken only in 1941. So, what kind of situation? Nowadays, the war is altogether different. Previously, soldiers used to be killed roughly about in a month, roughly about 25,000 soldiers of Germany used to be killed, and the moment America came into the war, 25,000 soldiers were added. So the Allied forces had a big jump, and resulting in that by August the war was over, and there was a further development that just now I have explained, and that took place in USA. Another thing is that previously, before the war, Europe was the center, and they used to dictate things. After the war, the America became the superpower and remained, although it was earlier also, but uh, uh, things were established. Especially, one was dollar was considered to be the currency. That was a big change instead of pound. Another thing, UN, and third thing, the creation of Israel. Israel, if you look at today's world, again we are finding ourselves in war mainly because of these things. And war and the economy, they cannot go together. If there is a war, economy, this is if somebody is not winning, we will hit the civilian resources. So civilians will be ultimately the economy of the country will be destroyed. So this has happened in the countries where the war has gone up, and inflation has gone up to an extent that in those countries, roughly about in Iran, inflation is more than 40%. You can very well imagine the plight of people, the stake of a common man in Iran, that they are uh, in a very poor shape for simple reason that the nation's pride and the nation for national interest. So these things, I think, will end just as it ended in 1941 also, and give a new path for development, economic development, and for the future of the human. Because the wars are also very technology technology driven, and not that the human has a major role to play. And in future also the role of technology is going to be much more, things will be much more superior, and human life might be much better than what is today. So these are the things where in 1925 we can say that ultimately, just as in August in 2000, in 1941 things improved, we think that thereafter, also in 1925, things may improve and go for a positive. Because if the tariff war is over, things will be better, much better, especially for the whole world. Because there can be economic development, the inflation can be down. Because of the tariff war, there can be more inflation, and the prices may go up. This is the Iran war, Israel war. It ended, and it has resulted in the Brent crude prices and the NYMEX prices going down. Uh, Naturally, these will result in, although in India this has no meaning, but in rest of the world it has a meaning, and it will affect the inflation in the positive fashion. So these are the things. The development today, we cannot think of development in this war zone scenario. The nations which are destroyed altogether, the nations which are struggling hard, but ultimately, I think the rest of the world will grow at a much faster rate after some time. Thanks, sir. Thanks. Sir. I think it's over.
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है डॉक्टर शिप्रा।
अभी
नहीं
भी
आ
नहीं
रही। लॉग ऑफ करके या तो लॉग इन कर लो एक बार, एंड द होस्ट में।
Hello. Sarindra Rana ji. How are you?
No, she's back. She's back. अभी भी आवाज नहीं आ रही डॉक्टर शिप्रा।
Joining with some other device.
Abhi, is it now?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it's okay.
yes. Now it is all right.
Okay, maybe due to the stand there was issue. Okay, so I'm so sorry for the trouble. Nevertheless, I will reintroduce the speaker. Though he has spoken, but for the benefit of all, let me introduce the speaker once again. Professor Professor Anil Kumar Singh is a professor at Sri Aurobindo College, Evening, University of Delhi, and holds a PhD in Human Resource Development. His academic interests include human resource management, organizational culture, and public policy, with numerous publications in reputed journals, including Vikalpa and other peer-reviewed platforms. Professor Singh has served extensively in national roles, including as member of the Faculty of Commerce and Business, University of Delhi, and the Task Force on Health at the university. Internationally, he has been on the editorial advisory of the International Journal of Management in Malaysia, and has presented his research in Hungary, Slovakia, Thailand, and the UK. In administration, he has served multiple terms as acting principal, IQAC coordinator, and the convener of various strategic committees, such as NAC admissions, infrastructure planning, and prevents redressal. He has also organized and chaired numerous international conferences, workshops, and faculty development programs, contributing actively to academic policy and quality enhancement. We are honored to have you, sir, with us today. Thank you very much for your insightful and compelling address. Your thoughtful exploration of how wars, be it with ammunitions or the tariff wars, disrupt societies and destabilize economies, brought a sobering but necessary perspective to our gathering. In a time of global uncertainty, your words offered clarity grounded in realism yet forward looking. We especially appreciate your emphasis on the silver lining for India, a reminder that amidst global turmoil, our nation has the opportunity to lead through resilience, innovation, and inclusive development. Thank you once again for engaging us with both intellect and optimism. Thank you once again, sir. Moving ahead, moving ahead.
Thank you, Shipra.
Thank you, sir. I am profusely overjoyed to take the opportunity to introduce and welcome the keynote speaker of the day. It is an honor to introduce Professor Ravinder Rana, a globally renowned economist, academician, and public intellectual with over 32 years of international teaching and research experience across Asia, Africa, and Europe. Currently a professor of economics at Durban University of Technology, South Africa, he also holds visiting and adjunct professorships at prestigious institutions in Russia, Switzerland, India, and Indonesia. Professor Rana has published over 180 peer reviewed articles, authored more than 10 books, and delivered keynote addresses at over 400 conferences worldwide. His expertise spans development economics, global South issues, sustainability, and public policy. And he ranks in the top 1% of researchers globally on SSRN. A recipient of numerous international awards, Professor Rana is also a leading editor for several Scoopers and international journals. Please join me in warmly welcoming Professor Ravinder Rana, a truly global scholar and voice for inclusive development. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us today. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Shipraji, and good morning, everybody. Professor Ajay Kumar Singh sir and Professor VP Singh sir, Professor Anil Kumar sir, and also our colleagues from different parts, Dr. Professor Rajesh Kajuria sir. We met, I think we have a lot to share with African continent, Professor Rajesh sir and myself, because he was born in Africa. I was growing and I was spending all my life in Africa. So we have a very good connect there with African continent. It's always indeed a pleasure to be part of the DSPSR family conferences. Now we are having this 27th International Annual Seminar that was organized by our Delhi School of Professional Studies and Research family. And the consistency that has been maintained throughout, but particularly for the past 27 years, it's not so easy to organize such events, two events every year, January International Conference and June every year, probably international seminar. So that is actually, that shows the dedication, that shows the commitment, that shows the love and care for scholarly works by the DSPSR and its management. Given that, ladies and gentlemen, the topic that was chosen today is development of individual, society, and the global economy. I would like to unpack certain issues here because of the interest of time. And I would like to mention that we have got lots of successful people in this world, from Elon Musk to probably Ambani, Adani, and so many other rich people one side, so many other great scholars on the other side, and technocrats on the other side, and global leaders like Narendra Modi ji, our Honorable Prime Minister, and also many other leaders at different states of India, and so on. So the world is growing. They're all individuals. They're also part of the society, but they're also part of the global economy. The world is growing immensely for the past a few decades or few centuries. And probably about 2020 years ago, the population of the world is only 250 millions. That is the population of Uttar Pradesh state today. Now the population of the world today is more than 8.1 billions. So we grew rapidly for the past 2000 years. Now India is not only creating the volume, but also creating the value to the global economy. So in terms of volume, ladies and gentlemen, we are the first largest populated country in the world. We contribute about 1.45 billion people to this world. As our chief guest, Rishi Mohanji, also indicated that we are contributing almost 18% of the total population of this globe. So given that scenario, so that is the volume actually. The volume that we are already adding to the global economy or to the global population, but also the value that we are creating. That's what we need to make a note of it. Now, given this, the population is growing and the population is so big, and we are the number one in that particular population segment. Now, what does it mean to us actually in terms of the global economy, in terms of the individuals, in terms of the societies? What is happening? I would like to give you some kind of overall picture according to my view. So, if an individual grows, automatically this particular society also grows. If the individual society grows, generally the economy of a nation and the economy of the world also grew. So there's always a positive relationship with an individual, one side, society on the other side, and it on the other side, national and global economy. So there's a kind of correlation actually. In econometric sense, if we talk about, there's a positive correlation between these two or these few variables. Now, I was opening my statement stating that we have got so many successful people in this world. We have rich people, we have good human beings, we have dedicated compatriots who love the nation, who love the world, who love the humanity, who love the nature, who love the planet. But we don't need the successful people. Actually, the successful people is not the one who become rich in the world and richest in the world. That's not success in my view, ladies and gentlemen, because of the fact that the successful rich people that we talk about, among the top 10 people in the world, they're all individuals. Elon Musk, who was also born and brought up in South Africa, where I'm coming from, and probably he became the richest man in the world with about $407 billion, according to the latest statistics. We have Jeff Bezos, we have Adani ji and Ambani ji, and so many other Indian billionaires. Also, they are in the top 15, 20 people in this world. So there we consider them, they are successful people. So the world doesn't need the successful people. We need the responsible people, ladies and gentlemen. We need the respectful people who has got the love for the nature, who has got the same love and respect for the human beings. So that is literally missing in this world. Your money doesn't add any value actually to the human beings living on this planet. 8.1 billion people, majority of them, more than 3.5, 3.7 billion people could be living below poverty line. Almost about 40% of the global population living with poverty and destitution. And there are only less than 0.1% of the people they could call themselves as the richest people in this world. So what is this rich means to this society, to the individual, and to the population of this world, and to the economy of this world? So all these billionaires, if you take top 100 billionaires in the world, they may be adding probably few percentage of the global economy. Maybe about 10% of the global economy could be coming from this, all the rich people that we're talking about, 100 people of this world. It doesn't make any sense. As a student and teacher of economics for more than 3 decades of experience, I don't see any kind of significant value addition to this particular society that we are living in, this particular planet that we are living in. So what the value that even individual who is working as a security guard or a rickshaw puller or maybe agricultural farmer or probably a soldier or a policeman, and who's a driver or whichever the position, or a cleaner, whatever they do, they may also add significant value that we cannot able to see ourselves. A cleaner who is cleaning the streets of Delhi, adding a lot of value actually, which we don't see. A cleaner who is less educated, semi-educated, or no education at all, trying to clean the mess that was created by the educated families. So who is successful here? That is the fundamental question. Can we call a professor or a vice chancellor or a director general or a chief secretary working for the government? Can he be called as a successful human being because he's a senior IAS officer, a senior IPS officer, or a senior academic with a vice chancellor position? And who is adding value, one has to think about. So, ladies and gentlemen, every individual living on this planet is equally important. A success does not attribute with the money alone, with the business alone, with ethics, with the values, with the way that we treat ourselves and our society, our people, and also our planet, most importantly. That's what is success. So the world needs not the successful people like what we are talking, but people who understand the dynamics of this world, the dynamics of this life, the dynamics of this nature, and love and respect that nature without damaging that nature. That's what I would like to emphasize here. So given this point, ladies and gentlemen, we have lots of things are happening in this world. So meaning that we have generating so much. For example, India became recently, a few weeks ago, we became the fourth largest economy in the world, kicking out of the race. Japan, which was in the race for almost about maybe about 5-6 decades, it was the number 2 economy in the world. It became number 3. It was became number 4. Now we became number 4, and Japan became number 5. So Japan has got its own strength. Although in terms of population, it's much smaller than us. In terms of area size, is also much smaller than us, but it went ahead of India. Remained from 1960s to 1990s, it became the second largest economy in the world. It is nothing to do with probably various other business paradigms and business models, but it is the way that they work hard, and they work hard consistently throughout, and that is the way that they could able to reach to that higher levels. After America, Japan was considered to be the second largest economy in the world for a long period of time. So whether it is an individual country or individual, the way they work hard, that's what they determine where they are standing in the world. So ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest also indicated that we were the first largest economy in the world. I always used to probably share my views quite a number of occasions at DSPSR forums also, that India has considered to be the largest economy in the world for centuries actually. And we were contributing 40% of the total income of the world, and now we are contributing only 4% of the income of the world. So there are lots of things that happened for the past 220 years, 230 years down the line, which I'm not going to go to the details of it. So these things are happening, and now the environment is being damaged significantly. The climate change, if you talk about the few months ago, in the month of May last month, and in the month of April, in the month of March, the temperatures in Delhi, the temperatures in Rajasthan, temperatures in Surat and Gujarat, or probably maybe in Hyderabad, in other parts of India, we've been experienced. They already touched over 50 degrees of temperature. Then what is wrong with us actually? We the individuals, we the societies, what we are doing to protect our environment, we need to question ourselves. We are creating almost about 3.5 trillion metric tons of waste. So that is a huge amount of wastage actually. We are creating almost every individual, we are creating about 700 grams of waste that we are creating. We don't think, we only know that we can create the waste, but we don't know from that waste, we can also create some worthiness. We can also create some value. So country like Singapore, ladies and gentlemen, if the waste that is being generated and the waste that is thrown in the Singapore city in about 2 to 2.5 hours time, that waste can become an energy. The waste can become an energy and creating some worthiness, actually, creating some value. So the same thing we could able to do. Now we always blame plastic at once upon a time, maybe a few hundred years ago, when the plastic was not into the pipeline, not into our system yet. And we think that plastic is something magical actually. Now the same plastic we begin to blame, we begin to ban, and we don't balance the usage of plastics. Although in the name of Swachh Bharat, Clean India, Green India, we imposed ban of plastics, bags, and so many things in different places of India, but still we use the plastics actually. So the ban and the imposition of this kind of blames is not helping us. But on the other side, if we regulate our behaviors, if we balance the usage of the plastics and we respect the environment, so with that we could able to create some kind of value for ourselves as an individuals. We create value to the society, and we also create value to our global economy. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of time, I'd like to conclude in saying few important words here. That, as I indicated, that we were the first largest economy in the world not long time ago, about 200 plus years ago. Now we became the fourth largest economy, contributing 4% to the global income. And we always aim to achieve Satyameva Jayate, we believe in. We also believe in the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. By believing these two important uh, philosophies of human life, human societies, that means a lot actually, not only for India, but also to the rest of the world. We are the only people in the world, when COVID-19 came a few years ago, we begin to think about the society, about the universal population more than ourselves. That's what it is, the Satyameva Jayate, and also that's what it is, the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world population is one family. And most of the people that we call America is the richest country in the world. A couple of days ago, the American economy gone down to minus 0.2%. That is the economic growth rate, actually. So America doesn't have a growth rate at all, but still considered to be the largest economy in the world, actually. And where we are contributing, as Professor Anil Kumar sir was also sharing, that we are contributing more than 6% or 6.2% to the global, that's our GDP, gross domestic product, and we are also contributing immensely to the global income. But 4.1 or $4.2 trillion of our contribution, and where we are making a positive contribution, America still remains the largest economy by making the negative contribution. So America doesn't have a growth rate actually. Like South Africa, South African economy also we used to have that kind of growth rate actually. Now we don't even have 1% growth rate in South Africa. So we used to have 0.40, 0.6, 0.7 growth rate for the past few years. So the economies in the globe are being changing rapidly. And the global economic structures, global economic orders also been changing rapidly, particularly for the past 2 decades. Country like China, who is our counterpart and now neighbor or competitor, was nowhere in the global economy. We are also competitors historically about 1700, 1800. That time we were also competitors, and we are also trying to race to be in the race. Largest economy India, second largest economy China, sometimes also largest economy China, and India also second largest economy. The same thing is continued. Now China contributes about 18% of the global income. When we look at the global income is about $100 trillion, and America contributes about $31 trillion to the global income, where it's contributing about 30%, and India was contributing 40% at one stage. Now, China, being the second largest economy, is contributing 18%, and we the fourth largest. Only in between China and India, we left with Germany, which is probably the difference between Germany and India is not so big. That's why we are confident. We are optimistic that we could able to be the third largest economy in the world in no time. So maybe in the coming few years. So with these few words, ladies and gentlemen, though there's a lot to talk about, but I know we are already running late. So my point I would like to make it here is clear, is that every individual, we are living here for a temporary period. 2025, until now, there are more than 108 billion people lived and died on this planet. The planet remains, but 108 billion people, for the past few million years, they all died. In the coming few years, maybe another 20, 30, 50 years time, or maybe 70 years time, all the people that we are joined here in this platform, we also will be died. But we only think that we are here permanently for maybe centuries or thousands of years, and we will be kind of gathering the assets, we are gathering the money, we are gathering so many other physical things, thinking that we are going to live forever here. So that is where the problem comes. We have Arshad Vargas, Kama, Krodha, Loba, Moha, Mada, Macharyas. And laziness is also can be added. Alasya can be added as one of the destructive kind of factors that can be part of our lives. So all these 6 or 7 factors, Arshad Vargas, they are trying to destroy the human being. They are trying to destroy the society also. Eventually, they are also trying to destroy the world economy and the world society also. As Professor Anilji also mentioned about the wars, so many millions of people, they lost their lives in the name of wars. All of them are innocent people. Churchill didn't die with the war, or probably all the other people who started the what do you call, the Nazi leader, Adolf Hitler, or whoever they are, part of Benito Mussolini, they didn't die like soldiers in the war, but they are the one who created the war. Innocent people, millions and millions of soldiers, they lost their lives. So when we develop the society, my final point I would like to stress here is that because we live temporarily here, and within this short span of period, we try to add some value with all our ethics, morals, and respect to the human beings and respect to the nature. So we shouldn't forget the point that Mother Nature, Mother Planet, Matru Bhumi is the Matru. She is the mother of all of us, actually. That's why we are the children of this planet, and we should love and respect that planet. And let us join hands. Let us try to work towards improving the Mother Planet environment as much as possible. Let us grow the trees, and let us also clean the environment. Let us support every human being living in this planet without having so many deviations and differences. And let us build a society, holistic society, egalitarian society, and we live happily whatever the little time that we live on this planet. With these few words, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everybody from the DSS family for making me part of that family for almost a decade. Thank you, Vanilla.
Thank you very much, sir, for your enlightened, insightful, and enriching address. Your data-driven perspective on the economy offered both clarity and depth, helping us better understand the dynamics shaping our world today. By redefining success beyond mere numbers and economic indicators, and by emphasizing the role of each individual in contributing to collective progress, you reminded us that real development is both personal and purposeful. Your words not only informed but also inspired, leaving us with a renewed sense of responsibility and hope. Thank you for adding such meaningful value to this event and to our shared understanding of inclusive growth. Thank you very much, sir, once again. Moving ahead, it is time to introduce the building block of our institution, who has been the constant source of motivation for us all. Professor BP Singh, Chairman, Delhi School of Professional Studies and Research. He is an eminent academician, institution builder, and thoughtful leader in the field of management and commerce. Professor Singh is currently serving as chairman of the governing body of the Delhi School of Professional Studies and Research and chairman of the Society for Human Transformation and Research. Formerly Professor Head and Dean at Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi. He is the architect of the flagship postgraduate programs MH-ROD and MIB, which are presently known as MBA programs, and has over 4 decades of teaching and research experience. I mean, now it's been numerous decades now. A prolific author of over 20 books and numerous research papers, Professor Singh has supervised dozens of PhDs and MPhils and continues to mentor future scholars and professionals. His service on national academic bodies like UGC, UPSC, ICA, and multiple university committees has left a lasting impact on policy and academic standards. He has also represented India in various international academic forums across Europe and Asia. Please join me in welcoming our visionary educator and scholar, Professor BP Singh. Over to you, sir.
Please check if he's not available, then you can invite the director.
Okay, I'm told that he's not available as of now. So, moving ahead, as we come close to the end of our inaugural session, I feel honored to introduce Director Sir. Just a moment. Professor Mahesh Sharma. We are pleased to welcome Professor Mahesh Sharma, an accomplished academician, administrator, and researcher with over 17 years of experience in industry and academia. He has served as a professor in the Department of BCA, New Delhi Institute of Management, affiliated with Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, Delhi. Professor Sharma is the recipient of numerous prestigious honors, including multiple national awards such as Pride of the Institute and Excellence of the Institute, and international recognitions like Best Educationist, Young Achiever of the Year, and Honor of Excellence under the C20 initiative of India's G20 presidency. He has been a keynote speaker and guest of honor at institutions across India, Nepal, and Oman. A prolific contributor, he has published 20 research papers, authored 7 books, and holds 6 patents with several more in the pipeline. He has also played key editorial roles in reputed national and international journals, including Scopus Index publications. As an advisor, convener, and mentor, Professor Sharma has organized various FDPs, workshops, and conferences, including 2 under the Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching Scheme of the Government of India, and continues to support rural institutions in the NAC accreditation process. Please join me in welcoming a dynamic scholar and education leader, Professor Mahesh Sharma. A very hearty welcome to you, sir, and would like to invite you to extend vote of thanks to our wonderful and a very patient audience. Over to you, sir.
So please adjust your mic.
Yes, sir.
ये माइक हटा देंगे तो ज्यादा अच्छा आएगा मेरे ख्याल में. इसको हटा दीजिए, कॉर्ड खोल दीजिए उसकी. It is better.
That's better.
Very warm good afternoon, honorable governing body of college, we will now get best corners of India and abroad for the participants and vice community members. This is Professor Dr. Mahesh Sharma, Director, DSPSR. It is my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of organizing committee and the preparation of this enriching seminar on the development of individual, society, and global norms. First and foremost, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speakers and guests for
You're not audible, sir.
and ultimately the global economy. Sincere thanks to our distinguished guests and participants for your enthusiastic engagement, thoughtful questions, and valuable presence. We are also grateful to our organizing faculty members and volunteers whose tireless efforts made today's seminar a success. And special thanks to all the students and all the character builder lecturers for joining us. Finally, we thank our audience for being such an attentive and encouraging group. And your interest and participation are what make events like this impactful. Let us take this knowledge, engage, and commit ourselves to contributing positively within ourselves, in our communities, and on a global scale. Thank you all once again. Thank you so much. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Shibra.
Thank you very much, sir, for extending vote of thanks to our esteemed audience. Now I would request everyone to stand up for the cause that is nation. May I please request the IT team to play national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, all the participants, esteemed speakers, and most importantly, our IT team, the backend support. With these words, we come close to our 27th International Seminar. Now, I would request the team to kindly close the session.
We come to the end of the inaugural session.
Inaugural session, sorry.
And the next session is from 2 p.m. So you should announce that also. We have 1 more minute to go.
Okay, so I would request Dr. Mukta, the convener of the seminar, to kindly brief the participants about the sessions that are in pipeline.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. So our next session will be start from 2 p.m. onwards. It is related to the technical session related to the contemporary issues, research paper presentation on the contemporary issues. And after that, we have one more session that is related to the online interactive session that is from corporate world. And it is from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. onward, 6 to 7 p.m. So we love to share with you. Please join us again at 2 p.m. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you everyone. Now it is dot one. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaskar, everybody. Thank you, sir.
Everyone, thank
Thank you.
you.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Thank you so much.
It's recorded at minute short.
That is also important. Na? Value your the time. Start at sharp 11 and end at 1. So enjoy the lunch in between. All of